What do you think makes a great fractional chief
Yeah,
growth officer or a
absolutely.
fractional executive on the C-suite,
Yeah.
just in general?
First of all, I'm loving this new model in the marketplace. I think it's going to change the game. It's going to change the playing field,
Yeah,
because companies are going to have access to executives they might not have had access to before.
there we go.
And so I'm loving this. Plus, I wanted I want to do changes. So I get to do changes in this
Yeah,
role.
yeah,
But to
yeah.
me, what's really, really important when you're thinking about a fractional executive and kind of what I look for in the criteria of someone who's ready to engage me is that, you know, you got to know how to get on the train quick. Like you got to get
Yeah.
on that train real quickly. You have to have your finger on the pulse of what's happening in the marketplace. Period.
Mhm.
Full stop. These companies are focused on their company, and you've got to bring the environmental understanding of the trends and what's happening in the marketplace, what's working and what isn't, especially in CX. Whether it
Yeah,
be B2B or B2B2C, like you have to know
yeah,
the latest and greatest and bring that to the table.
yeah.
You've got to be able to diagnose a situation in a way that has sense and sensibility for people who have been working on this business for a long time, who are very invested, and be able to get into their culture with ease and get everyone feeling comfortable working with you so you can make that short-term impact, or set up for that long term, which sometimes you're just doing that, right? um, you to me a strong fractional CGO, which
Mhm.
is what I'll stick with, needs to have. I'm a framework person. Okay, I'm not just like
Mhm.
problem solve. I have an accumulated framework. I have playbooks that I can pull from, that I can configure. It's like a recipe book, right? And
Yeah, yeah,
you may change the sauce a little bit, but you need to be able to implement that, and already have something to draw from, so you're not like just working off a white sheet of paper.
yeah.
You have to have strong communicator who obviously understands financial, operational, and be able to have those conversations as well, not just sales. Because as we talked about before, for me, when I'm coming in, I am top line. Like you will get top line, but there's an also piece that your bottom line, your margins, your effectiveness, your long-term sustainability, all will probably improve at the same time. You may be able to do with more with less. So in order to do that, I have to be able to communicate it in a way that is compelling, right? And that has
Mhm.
facts and data behind it. And then lastly, I want to go where my experience aligns to the engagement, right? So
Mhm.
um,
Mhm.
so you should be looking for a CGO who has the background. It doesn't have to be necessarily the same industry, but the
Right.
the
Yeah.
nature of the experience needs to align to the nature of the business. So those are, to me, some of the things that make a great CGO, CRO, or
Mhm.
really any kind of fractional executive